Welcome to this problem solving sections. So we'll see here, we'll do today radii of atoms, velocity, energy, time period of the electrons. So in these sections, let us see solve some problems to understand this concept. What is the distance between fourth and third Bohr orbit of helium positive ion? So here you know the this one distance, that is value for Bohr orbit, that is Bohr orbit is nothing but the r is equal to 0.529 into n square by z angstrom. Okay, so we need to find this is the fourth orbit, so fourth orbit minus third orbit is for the nth orbit, so this will give you your 0.529 and this will be your fourth orbit, just n square by z square, this is fourth square and z is helium is given here. So again you divide it here, 4 square by 2 and this will be your third orbit, 3 square by 2. So on solving this angstrom, so we will get answer 1.851 into 10 to the power minus 10 meter. So this is our answer. Now second is, what is the atomic number of the element X? Okay, would have been so that the fourth orbit around X would fit inside the first Bohr orbit of the hydrogen atom. So in this case, this is the question number 1. For second question, so again same thing. So nth orbit is first orbit is given here 0.529 angstrom. So we have to find the fourth orbit. So fourth orbit will be your r4. So here you take x, this is the x atom. So here r1 into n square by z. So r4x will be 0.529 into 4 square by z. So this gives you z is equal to 16. So this is our answer. This is the atomic number of X. What is the ratio of the velocity of the electron in the third and fifth orbit of lithium dipositive ion? So in third question, so velocity of third orbit is equal to we know that v naught into z by n, so n will be third, and lithium is, since they are asking the one atom, so again you write here lithium of the fifth orbit, because the fifth orbit will be velocity into z by n into 5. This is the first equation. Second equation, so velocity 3 by velocity of fifth will be your, so this will become up n 5 by n3, so ratio will be 5:3. So this is our answer. Second, if the ratio of second stationary orbit is r, then what is the ratio of third orbit? So they are asking ratio of the second stationary orbit is r, that is Bohr atom, then what is the ratio of the third orbit? So we will use the here formula, that is the radius of the nth orbit is nothing but the n square by z. So here z is constant, we will use n square. So second orbit given here, the radius of second orbit divided by radius of the third orbit will be nothing but the n square by z. So z will be cancelled. So here we will write here n2 square divided by n third orbit is asking n3 square. So now r2 is given here r, so we can write here r by r3 equal to, this is your 4 by n. So here r3 will be nothing but the 9 by 4r. So this is our answer. What is the frequency of revolution of electron present in second Bohr orbit of the hydrogen atom? So again we know the frequencies of frequency, this is the fifth frequency is equal to it is the velocity divided by 2 pi r2. So here velocity is given here in velocity of second orbit, that is 1.082 into 10 power 6 meter per second, and divided by 2 into pi and multiplied by 2.12 into 10 to the power minus 10. So this is the radius of the second orbit of the hydrogen. So on solving we will get here 8.2 into 10 to the power 14 per second. This is for fifth orbit. Fifth question, what is the separation energy in electron volt for beryllium atoms in the first excited state in electron volt? So for beryllium atoms, beryllium 3 positive, so here we have E infinity minus E2 is equal to plus 13.6 into Z by N. So this is the Z by N. So this is the whole square. So just directly putting this value 13.6 into 4 by 2 whole square. So on solving we will get here 54.4 electron volt. So this is our answer. If in Bohr's model for monoelectronic atom, time period of the revolution is represented as Tn, 2. So where n is represents not 2 is Z, T and Z. So where n represents the shell number and Z represents the atomic number. Now what is the value of T12 is to T21? So we can directly solve this one. Time period is proportional to n cube by Z whole square. So this implies the T12 divided by T21. So we can write the corresponding value 1 by 4 into 1 by 8. So we will get value 1 by 32. So this is our answer for question number 7. Now come to question number 8. What is the ratio of time period T1 by T2 in second orbit of hydrogen atom to third orbit of helium atom? So again we can use same value, T is proportional to n cube by Z square. So here again T1 by T2 will be equal to, so n1 by n1 cube by Z1 square into Z2 square by n2 cube. So this will be cube. So on solving this value, so here Z cube by 1 will be equal to 2 square by 3 cube. This is 3 cube is equal to, then we will get answer here 32 by 27. So this is our answer. The energy of the second Bohr orbit in the hydrogen atom is minus 3.41 electron volt. What is the energy of the second Bohr orbit of the helium ion? So we can use this formula. So energy is equal to minus 13.6 electron volt Z by N whole square electron volt per atom. So by seeing this energy of hydrogen for second orbit, okay, and energy of the helium plus for second orbit. So this will be here just for hydrogen divided by, and this is equal to n is equal to hydrogen square multiplied by this is n for this for helium and divided by Z for helium square. So here value is your 1, this value will be your 2 square, this value here 2 by 2 whole square. So this is cancel. So this given here, energy of the hydrogen given here minus 3.4 electron volt, and energy of the helium. So energy of the helium will be how much? 4 into 3.4. This is a minus. So answer you will get here 13.64 electron volt. So this is our answer. This is the question number 9. So now we will see. For a hydrogenic species, hydrogen-like species, potential energy of the system is given by UR equal to minus Ke squared divided by R cube. So this is given here, K square R cube, where R is the distance between the two particles. If the Bohr model of angular quantization momentum is applicable, then what is the velocity of particle? So this is given here. So let us see this one. So this UR is given equal to minus Ke square by R cube. So if you write in this form, minus d of UR by, this will be a differentiation of radius. So this you will get here 3Ke square by R to the power 4. So this will give you magnitude of the force. This will give you magnitude of the force. Now 3Ke square divided by R to the power 4 is equal to mv square by R, and we know that mvr is equal to nh by 2 pi. So from here R is equal to nh by 2 pi R, that is 2 pi R, not 2 pi is given 2 pi m into v. So this velocity already given here. So we can put this velocity over here. So we'll get here solving 3Ke square divided by, not divided by R4. So instead of R4 we can write this value. So we'll get here whole 8 pi cube m cube, and this is your v cube divided by n cube into h cube, and this will be your mv square. So here v will be how much? N cube, h cube divided by 24 ke square pi cube into m square, and this is our velocity. So here we will got this much. So this is the velocity of the particle. So a small particle of mass m moves in such a way that potential energy equal to half m kr square, which k is the constant, r is the distance of the particle from origin. Assuming Bohr's model of quantization of angular momentum and circular orbit, r is directly proportional to what? So we can write here minus half into potential energy is equal to kinetic energy, and this minus half is equal to, here we can write minus half into m into k r square equal to half into mv square, and we know that mv r is equal to nh by 2 pi. So this we know this value, so we can write here v square is equal to n square by h square. This will be your 4 pi square m square by r square. So r to the power 4 will be n square h square divided by 2 pi square m square into k. So this implies that r is proportional to square root of n. So answer will be C is the proper answer.